In a gloomy workhouse tucked away in a forgotten corner of the city, a chorus of coughs and sniffles echoed through the dilapidated halls. The orphans, with hollow cheeks and threadbare clothes, huddled together for warmth as they endured the cruel realities of their existence. Their days were punctuated by meager portions of tasteless gruel, which did little to appease their gnawing hunger. Among the sea of lost souls, there was one boy who stood out, Oliver Twist. His large, innocent eyes and pallid complexion stirred the hearts of those who crossed his path. Oliver, orphaned from birth, seemed to bear the weight of the world upon his small shoulders. But within the depths of his young spirit, a glimmer of hope remained. One fateful day, as the meager meal was being served, Oliver dared to do the unthinkable. With a trembling voice, he approached the master and softly requested, "Please, sir, I want some more." The room fell silent, as if time itself had frozen. Gasps of disbelief filled the air, followed by the thunderous outrage of the staff, who could not comprehend such audacity from a mere child. And so, it was decided that Oliver's fate lay beyond the grim walls of the workhouse. He was entrusted to the care of Mr. Sowerberry, an undertaker whose abode mirrored the solemnity of his profession. Shadows danced across the worn carpets, and the scent of embalming fluids hung in the air, casting a somber pallor over Oliver's new home. Mrs. Sowerberry, a stern and joyless woman, ruled over the household with an iron fist. She had little patience for Oliver's wide-eyed wonder and quiet demeanor. The Sowerberry children, a sniveling boy and a petulant girl, wasted no time in making their disdain for the newcomer abundantly clear. Oliver, assigned to various menial tasks within the undertaker's shop, found solace in the simple act of sweeping. As he brushed away the dust, he yearned for a brighter world beyond the dark confines of the Sowerberry residence. His innocence seemed incongruous amidst the sorrowful atmosphere, as if a fragile flower had sprouted in the midst of a barren wasteland. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Oliver ventured outside for a brief moment of respite. He found himself gazing longingly at the bustling streets beyond the Sowerberry's wrought iron gate. The world outside seemed vast and mysterious, and he yearned to explore its hidden corners. It was on one of Oliver's errands to the bustling streets of London that he encountered a mischievous figure named the Artful Dodger. Dodger, a streetwise boy with a cheeky grin and an air of mischief, recognized Oliver's vulnerability and saw an opportunity to shape the boy's destiny. Under Dodger's guidance, Oliver was led through a labyrinth of narrow alleyways until they arrived at a derelict building, a haven for a motley crew of child pickpockets, overseen by the crafty Fagin. Fagin, a wiry old man with a hooked nose and a perpetual gleam in his eye, welcomed Oliver into his fold with open arms. Within Fagin's den, the stolen spoils of the children adorned every available surface. It was a cavernous refuge where innocence had been replaced with cunning and laughter carried the weight of secrets. Oliver was introduced to Fagin's gang, a peculiar ensemble of young pickpockets, each bearing their own scars of a life lived on the edge. Under Fagin's watchful eye, Oliver's initiation into a life of thievery began. In a corner of the den, surrounded by flickering candlelight, Fagin unveiled the secrets of his craft. He demonstrated nimble fingers, sleight of hand, and the art of blending into the shadows. At first, Oliver resisted the siren call of stealing. His moral compass flickered with uncertainty as he grappled with the notion of stealing from innocent souls. But as hunger gnawed at his stomach and the promise of acceptance beckoned, Oliver's resolve weakened. Under Fagin's guardianship, Oliver learned to mimic the quicksilver movements of his companions. He practiced the delicate dance of distraction and dexterity, honing his skills on jewelry scattered throughout the den. Each success fueled the growing ember of acceptance within Oliver's heart, eroding his last vestiges of hesitation. It was on a fateful day, As Oliver embarked on his first foray into the labyrinthine streets of London, that disaster struck. His trembling hands fumbled, his heart pounding in his chest as his attempt at thievery went awry. The street exploded in chaos, a storm of voices and raised fists. The mob, fueled by anger, closed in on the young boy, their fury threatening to consume him. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. A figure emerged from the crowd, a man of middle age with graying hair and a compassionate gaze. Mr. Brownlow, a gentleman of means, commanded the mob to stand down. With a wave of his hand, he stopped the pursuit and shielded Oliver from their wrath. Gently cradling Oliver in his arms, Mr. Brownlow whisked him away from the tumultuous scene. The boy awoke in a place that seemed untouched by the hardships he had endured, a haven of warmth, comfort, and unfamiliar luxury. As he drifted in and out of consciousness, Oliver could not help but wonder how his life had taken such an unexpected turn, and what secrets lay concealed within his own mysterious past. Art eroding his last vestiges of hesitation. Unlock the power of real-life stories and novels with Deep Wise Stories. Here, we unearth the extraordinary in the ordinary, also shedding light on the lives of individuals who have left an indelible mark on the world. If you don't want to miss this kind of entertainment content, don't forget to subscribe on my channel. Until then, have a good one, and see you later.